Mike Tafoya. I'm from Tafoya's Lost Boys. I was guitarist for the Boyz and the Bees. Both bands were signed to Epic Records. And I want to thank Mario Salazar from Chicagosrock.com for inviting me for the Musician Spotlight for the month of August. So I'm going to show you some guitar things. Think about playing guitar. Guitar is you have to learn how to play it. You have to learn how to use your hands. And anything, to be good at anything, you have to have a capacity or a tolerance for repetition and boredom, you know, redundancy. And guitar especially, you have to learn how to play it right and slow. And people don't show you how to hold a pick, how to hold your hand, what you're supposed to do. And I'm going to show you my philosophy on guitar is head, hand, and heart. And heart doesn't just mean your soul and your emotions, it's more your body. And when you see people that are really good, from Michael Jordan to Walter Payton, as far as the Chicago people, you have to learn how to be in it and be good at it, and the repetition. Now, the hand part, it's the muscle memory, and you have to learn how to position your hand. When you play guitar, you want your hand over. Now, when you see guys playing, including me, I'll go like this, but I already know how to play. The main thing is you want to play on your tips, around this knuckle especially. And I do this exercise for the other part. Now, in the pick, I want to only do downstroking, and then I want you to count out loud, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but in pitch. Now, 1 is open, 2 is index, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but slow. And you count, you say the notes, you go, I'll turn it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Start on the 6th string, go over to the 1st, back up to the 6th, twice. Only downstroke. Then try, even you players that have been playing for a long time, it helps reacquaint yourself with what you're playing. Then only do upstrokes, only do down. It's very boring and slow. Count out loud, don't do it in your head, and try to do pitch. That gets the, your head. And that helps you associate the pitch, a note that you're playing, and a position on your neck. Slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Slow, and then only up, and then next, after the 3rd week, or a few days, up and down strokes. But only down, only up, and then up and down. Try those. And it teaches you, it helps you to develop digital independence, getting your mind to understand your pitch, muscle memory. When you're using this, always play on your tips of your fingers. That is the main thing. And when you hold a pick, I tend to do this perpendicular, this cross. My index going pointing, and I put the pick here, and the tip of the pick where I'm going to play is in the same direction my index is. And don't have all this much, too much pick hanging out, because then you're inefficient. Go like this, and then. So then, and get used to playing it hold like that, because if you hold it like this or whatever, they end up falling out. This tends to not, you find one way of doing it, and I don't drop my pick that often, rarely anymore, the last 30 years. But I always have it, and I have it close. And you pick like that, and keep it close to it. And another thing about guitar, I just remembered, is you got to develop to get your wrist perpendicular. It's going to be uncomfortable. But that's how you play right. And then no matter how big your hand is, or little your hand is, it's big when you play it like this. Now, after you've learned how to do it right, then you can start screwing around with it and play whatever, including the Jimi Hendrix where he uses his thumb to play notes. But first you have to do it like that, and the idea is to keep your fingers on top of it. And and also the frets, when you're fretting your note, you keep it closer to the fret that you're behind, not back of the fret, closer to that, so that it doesn't, you don't lose, you don't go, so you want to go, Mind you, I'm doing it fast. You gotta do it slow. You're supposed to do it twice and slower and count out loud. So your 1 is not your index, so you're starting to disassociate the automatic movement, so your hands aren't running you. That's the thing will all get into, is your hand starts doing its muscle memory, and you start doing riffs. They're not in your head. And also, by humming them, you start associating. So if you start getting into the habit of humming or singing the notes while you're playing them, you start actually, your hands start following your head, and that's a whole bunch of good things for you. And you find you're not just doing riffs. And what we want to eventually get into, including you shredders, is not just doing riffs, you're doing phrases. That you'll incorporate what you learn as a riff, but they become a phrase. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is a couple of things about digital independence. I'm going to start with the right-handed picking. I'm going to just hold the open E chord, but I'm going to go 6-5, 6-4, 6-3, 6-2, 6-1, 6, 2. Now it doesn't matter what chord or even open chords, so just mute it. It's learning how to get your hand, so it starts associating and finding its way around the strings up here. And you don't necessarily need to always anchor. I'll either anchor on my pad or on my pinky or someplace, but I'll show you the picking thing. It goes. Things. I've seen them in other places, in the Guitar Player magazine, all these, but here's one, just between strings goes. I gotta get position. Now I'll do them. I'll flip them. I go. And then sometimes I'll even just change holes. 6, 4, 5. 3. I'm screwed up, but I don't practice all the time. But those are the kind of things you want to do. And it associates, doing both, your placement of your right hand on your pick and your left hand, on your fretboard. But also your finger playing on the tips, and also digital independence. Not just digital dexterity, but independence. You want them to go in certain places. I want to thank you.